Siddur Snippet series is generally sponsored by the Saka family, by Elad Avram Foreman for Refuah Shlema Hadassah Rachel Bas Chana Golda. And this evening we begin the 18th bracha of the Amida, which we're tempted to say is the last bracha, because after all it's called Shmona Esrei. But we know there are really 19 brachas, so 18 is the penultimate bracha of the Amida, the second bracha of the last section called Hoda'ah. And it's interesting because often people associate Modim more with Ritzei and V'sachazena, but really that's a new bracha. Ritzei and V'sachazena is Avoda, and then Modim B'chol HaChaim is Hoda'ah. So much so, in fact, that people make a mistake and think V'sachazena Einena Machazir Shchinasol Tzion goes right into Modim. That Modim is part of Ritzei and V'sachazena, but that's a mistake. Ritzei and V'sachazena is the 17th bracha of the Amida, the bracha of Avoda. It's Modim and V'chol HaChaim that are the 18th bracha, the bracha of Hoda'ah, the bracha of gratitude. A person has to be careful. The Vilna Gaon, the Gra, it's brought down in Ma'aser Rav, that people make a mistake. They go right into Modim, and they don't give an opportunity to answer Amen to the bracha. They cut that bracha short. There's another bracha that people cut short, and said the Gra, that's on Shabbos night, Yerushalayim. So the Vilna Gaon said that's hinted to in the pasuk. Leman Sion lo achasheh, and Leman Yerushalayim lo ashkot. So Leman Sion, for the sake of Tzion, meaning the bracha of Amachazir Shchinaso Tzion, and Leman Yerushalayim lo ashkot is the bracha of Parei Sukkah Shalom v'al Yerushalayim. A person has to be careful to allow others to answer Amen to the bracha. So Amachazir Shchinaso Tzion, Amen, pause, and now Modim is the next bracha. Modim, we'll get to in a moment, the only bracha in the Amida that has a response to it. None of the other brachos that the Chazan says in the Chazar Sashatz does the Tzibor respond with something else. The exception is the bracha of Modim that has a Modim derabanan, which we will get to as well. This 18th bracha, as we've seen with every bracha of the Amida, it is in order. There is a chronology, there's a juxtaposition, there's a theme. The Gemara Megillah Daf Yud Ches explains the order of the brachas. The Gemara says, Avoda v'hoda'ah chad milsehi. Avoda v'hoda'ah chad milsehi. They're zel bezach. They're the same thing, they're identical. What does that mean? Avoda and hoda'ah, zel bezach, are the same thing, are identical. The simple understanding of the Gemara that avoda flows into hoda'ah, avoda, service of Hashem, sacrifice, service, and gratitude are synonymous. It means it's unacceptable, it's unthinkable to thank Hashem and not be committed to serve Him. If you're really grateful to Hashem, if you acknowledge Hashem, if you surrender to Hashem, if you submit with gratitude that everything comes from Hashem, how can that not translate and transform into service of Hashem? If you're not willing to serve Hashem, are you really grateful? Are you really grateful to Him? So avoda v'hoda'ah chadamilsi, avoda goes into hoda'ah, because if one is really grateful, then they are of service to Hashem. Part of our service is to be grateful. Indeed, this is our very name. Jews are called Yehudim, Yidden. Yidden is the Yiddish from Yehudim. It means Yehuda, from the name of Yehuda, one of the tribes. Yehuda got his name from his mother, correct, Leah. And Leah named him Yehuda, Pam Odeh Es Hashem. Yehuda's name itself is an expression of gratitude. So our very name, our very essence, our very identity, our core avoda, part of our core service of Hashem is to live a life of hoda'ah, to live a life of gratitude. And we saw Rabbi Yerucham, others explain, when the Medrash tells us Leah was the first to express gratitude to Hashem, what does that mean? Others who came before her offered sacrifices, they communicated to Hashem, they thanked Hashem. How could the Gemara, how could Chazal be so bold as to say Leah was the first to thank Hashem? So Yerucham, others say, what it means is Leah is not the first to thank Hashem. Leah is the first to not offer gratitude in paying a debt of gratitude. She didn't say thank you only once and she was done, but she never stopped thanking Hashem. She was never finished. In fact, the very name Yehuda, Pam Odeh Hashem, she embedded in her son's very name that gratitude. Every single time she called him, Yehuda, did you do your homework? Yehuda, it's time for bed. Yehuda, did you brush your teeth? Yehuda, come for dinner. Every time she called his name, she was implicitly saying, thank you, Hashem, for this child. Thank you for giving me more than what I expected, more than I think I deserved. Implicit in every time she used his name was an expression of gratitude. She didn't just say thank you once. She understood that gratitude is something which is endless and boundless, and which you say over and over again. We are Yidden, we are Yehudim, we are a people who are filled with gratitude. This 18th bracha of the Amida. Avoda, Vehoda'a, Chadamilsa. Our avoda, our mission, our mandate, part of the way we serve Hashem is to be filled with gratitude. The Medrash Vayikra Rabbah says in the future, all karbanos, all sacrifices will be unnecessary and discontinued, with the exception of one. Which korban do you think that is? Excellent. The korban toda. The korban toda, the korban of gratitude. And similarly, the Medrash continues, all prayers in the future will be discontinued, will be unnecessary, with the exception of one. Which bracha will we still say? The bracha of Hoda'ah. You can't ever stop being thankful. You can't ever stop saying thank you. You can't ever stop having an attitude of gratitude. It is synonymous with who we are. It is our identity. It is our mission. It is our avoda. Avoda v'hoda chadamilsa. It's really a zel bazach. It's one and the same. It is identical. And that's why after the avoda, Retzayin v'secha zena, the next bracha, Modim v'chol hachayim, is because the bracha of Hoda'ah. But maybe there's a deeper meaning. What it means, avoda v'hoda chadamilsa, we'll pick up next time. The deeper meaning can best be understood based on the historical precedent. With every bracha in the Amida, the Shibbolei HaLeket has told us what was the historical event in Tanakh that precipitated, that led to the authorship of that bracha. The Anshe Knesset HaGedolah didn't compose them out of thin air. There was a historical precedent. We've seen it 17 times. It's true for the 18th one as well. And we'll start with the next time.